This is David with Corel Training.
This is Cassie Green from Apparelist.
This is Gordon Firemark from the Entertainment Law Update.
And you're listening to
Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by
Terry Combs RG, regular guy,
and Aaron Montgomery.
The place to be for industry news.
the best dad jokes on earth, along with relevant topics to apparel decorators.
So pass it away.
All right, welcome into the show. It is Friday, October 31st, 2025. Happy Halloween. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
I had to grab my costume. I don't actually have a costume, but my name's Aaron Montgomery with our Success Group and American Print and Supply. And Terry, this week we've got our good friend Jay Busselle joining us. Jay's with Branded Merch Network, and he's got this really cool event that we get to be a part of, similar to a recent event that we'll talk about later. But anyhow, November 13th. So just let's start there, guys. Mark that on your calendar right now, November 13th. The event's called Automate and Elevate, exploring how AI and automation are shaping the future of branded merchandise. So we want to talk to Jay about AI, about automation, about what he's learning as he puts together this event. And there's going to be some really great information today, Terry.
Awesome. My costume's going to be a jacket because I am flying to Chicago after this show, so I can teach a screen printing class. So
there you go. So you'll be dressed up as a Phoenix area tourist in Chicago,
right. in a heavy coat when everybody else is in regular sweatshirts. So
that's right.
All right. On the secret sauce today, Eric is going to explore some simple tips for embroiderers moving from the hobby world into the commercial space.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having Eric join us. Been lots of things happening for everybody. It was funny as we kind of got this show together this week, everybody's like, hey, sorry, I'm running late. We're working on this, and everybody's like, yeah, we were all at Printing United. We know it was awesome. And so speaking of being at Printing United, Terry, it was so awesome to get to see Cassie in person. Amazing what they did back there in the apparel zone, and really good stuff happening coming out of the Apparelist and post Printing United. But she has graced us with some time here today to share some of the latest headlines. There's some moving and shaking going on here. So Terry, are you ready to bring Cassie in and
I am.
Get ahead of the news here?
Yeah, it was great seeing Cassie in Orlando as well as everybody else here on the show today. So Let's hear the news.
All right.
Hi, everybody. And yes, I would like to echo, it was awesome seeing you guys. What a great show. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit in my headlines today, but just want to say huge thank you to all of you on this show, because you're a huge part of making the Apparel Zone successful. And to anybody who was there at the expo, thank you. Thanks for coming. It was awesome. But hold on, I got to conjure up with my wand some headlines. All right, there it is. Sorry, big Harry Potter fan over here. All right, headlines for today. So first one, Taylor Corporation acquires Guten Inc. So as Aaron said, lots of moving and shaking happening in the industry. So Taylor Corporation announces the acquisition of Guten Inc., a print-on-demand technology and fulfillment provider. The Guten technology platform, along with Guten's growing fulfillment network, will now be combined with Taylor's national manufacturing footprint and global technology development expertise. This transaction will allow both companies to dramatically accelerate their print-on-demand market position, as noted in a press release. And then if you missed this big news in the merger world last week, Inktovo and Order My Gear announced merger. So Inktovo and OMG announced the merger right before Printing United Expo. If you're unfamiliar, Inktovo is the company behind Inksoft, Printavo, Graphics Flow, Sign Tracker, and Clarity software. So according to a press release from Inktovo, the merger unites two companies to create the industry's most complete suite of tools for branded merchandise businesses, spanning shop management, e-commerce, production management, reporting, design, and customer engagement. And then finally, of course, a headline I just have to share. Printing United Expo 2025 delivers record-breaking number of attendees and exhibitors in Orlando. So the expo concluded on October 24th. This year's show welcomed over 30,000 registered attendees from 104 countries, featuring 838 exhibitors. So some other stats I want to share with everybody. There was 4.7 million pounds of equipment on the show floor, hundreds of new product launches, including global debuts, more than 100 educational sessions and presentations, which of course our good friends here, it's Two Regular Guys, are a big part of. There was nearly 60 participating media outlets and association partners from around the world. 50 top global media outlets attended the exclusive pre-show media day event, emceed by our very own Aaron Montgomery. And I did get a glimpse of all-star Jay Busselle there, so shout out to my friends. There was over 60 students from local and national schools and universities attending on Student Day. And finally, more than 300 attendees convened at the Women in Print Alliance luncheon. So really awesome show. Again, thanks, guys. That's all I have for the news this week. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, Cassie closing up with all that information. I was like, man, blown away. I could feel it. I could sense it. So I have to break out the pom-poms for Printing United. Great show. Loved it. We had a blast there and lots of great connections. And I love the future. I was so crazy busy. I didn't get to participate in all the all-star activities as much, but I know the Student Day was so well received. So that is huge, Terry. I don't think we shine enough light on that. The fact that they brought all those students in, you had all those students that are like, this is our future. These are the people that are, going to be paying our paychecks soon, Terry. So
Exactly right. I did run into Jay when I first got the show, leading his crew around or trying to herd his college students around. But my show started at the airport. Craig Mertens walked up to me and a group of other show folks flying out of Phoenix and said, okay, I can announce it now. The press release went out this morning. Inktovo and Order My Gear is merging. So, yeah. And then of course we all started teasing him about what are you guys going to call it?
Yeah. What's the new mashup going to be? Man, didn't you come up with Inktovo, Terry? So maybe they
I made fun of it when it was announced. I said, well, surely they're not going to call it Inktovo. And they're like, no, that's what we're calling it.
Oops.
They have a whole new chance to reprieve or, to save themselves on this one.
There you go. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you, Cassie. Appreciate sharing all that information and yeah, lots of cool stuff happening. And it always feels good on the heels of a Printing United, Terry, because again, I just feel like the health of our industry is really strong, right? Yeah, there's challenges. Yeah, there's things that we're going to have to overcome. But, let's get all of these people that are excited about it, people like Jay Busselle, let's get them all into a big convention center. And I think, we made a lot of progress and then plus bring the young people on that are going to really solve the issues. And man, we got a pretty good formula there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
Exciting.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of our regulators tuned in this morning right away here. We had Doug checking in first thing this morning. And so good to see you here, Doug. And Rena Cooper, good morning. Happy Halloween. Yeah, I'd happen to have a costume here because I didn't really prepare for this, but I'm the limo driver. Does that work? Can I do that today?
It works.
All right. I apologize.
Podcast listeners.
Yes, exactly.
Aaron has his sunglasses on and his driving hat.
There you go. I don't even know what that means, but that was the only thing that was close enough to grab. So, all right. Well, speaking of fun, Terry, you have a Halloween themed dad joke.
I do. And since Cassie's hanging around, I thought I better outdo myself.
Let's do it.
So, Aaron, which monster loves to go to the club?
I don't know, Terry. Which monster does?
The boogeyman.
Oh boy. Wow. That worked really well. Did you play the music, Terry?
I did, yes.
Oh, I thought maybe that was Eric. I didn't look. Eric was like, no, I'm out. All right. Excuse me for coughing in your guys' ear. Well, Terry, Cassie says your dad joke did not disappoint. So
Awesome.
get us into our show here with a little housekeeping, please.
All right. Before we dive in, we want to thank everybody for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We still need your voices. We would love to have the regulators participate in our show intros. Go to osg.link/intro, read a few sentences, and be a part of every show. Don't be left out. We're always looking for new guests. So if you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys to book a future episode, or email us at info@tworegularguys.com with your show ideas. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show, we would love to have you share the Two Regular Guys podcast with your industry friends so they can become regulators too. We would appreciate you giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Podcast, wherever you do your podcast listening, we are there. And if you're watching us live, please join in with your comments and your questions for our good friend Jay Busselle.
Absolutely. Terry, before, just real quick, those folks were at the beginning where you said, hey, we need your voices. I need one more recording to put something new out there. So we're that close. So if somebody wants to just head over to osg.link/intro and record something for us, your voice will be on the intro that we use every week.
Jay's going to be a minute because he's running over there right now to record, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll give him a second. I'm kidding. All right. But Jay, you can go after the show. How about that? And Mr. David Haynes, my dudes. Yeah, we're excited. Speaking of my dudes, let's get. I always love having Jay, and we always have such a blast when we get to hang out with him. So, are you ready to have a blast here, Terry?
Absolutely. Let's bring Jay on.
Mr. Jay Busselle, how are you this morning, sir?
Woo! I'm fired up. What's
There
up, guys?
So good to see you, brother. And it was great to see you briefly in Printing United in Orlando. But
good times.
Jay, you're moving, you're shaking. You got lots of different things happening, and changes happening, right? And new things that you're involved with. So maybe I think at this point, most of our listeners are familiar with you. So, but you can give us like a little intro. But just what have you been up to lately, dude?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, fired up to be here. Thanks for having me. I love everything about this show, and it was great to have Cassie's intro and getting a little shout out for the show. Printing United show was awesome. To see all three of you and her there was like dreams come true. To be an all-star was fantastic, and I think that was just because since most of us were over, I'm going to be generous, most of us were over 48. They knew not to call us influencers, so they gave us the title. I was afraid it might be ambassador, but I would have taken ambassador over influencer.
Yes.
But to be an all-star, to be there, to be involved, it was a dream because I wasn't in a show where I had to babysit a booth. You know, I had some assignments, I had some time, I had some meetings, and we did some work. But it was just a great time, and then to come back to back and to be here with you guys. So. Loving every minute of it. Some of you may know this is the year I'm officially in a gap year situation. I decided at the first of the year to part ways with my colleague, Terry Combs, who is doing wonderful work at Equipment Zone. And so this year I've been trying to travel more, hang out with my kids more, and squeeze my grandkid more. So as you guys all know, Bex is actually here now. In the original plan, we were going to go over to Africa for 6 weeks, but we flipped that, and he's here now, and he is so jacked up about Halloween, I cannot tell you.
That's awesome.
And in between that stuff, I've been working on developing the Branded Merch Network, which is just a really cool community where promo and print and apparel folks hang out. We have some podcasts, we have some videos, we do some training. We have a newsletter and all the usual things, but we have this really fun group of people that are engaged, and we're all trying to figure it out, and none of us really has the perfect answer. So I always say this, I know it's a cliche, but we truly are better together. And one of the first things we did was we had an event, which was the Sustainable Merch Summit, which thanks to the Two Regular Guys podcast show, we had an amazing online virtual event. And so through that, one of the other things that I knew was a big deal, that's disruptive, that's innovative, and that's exciting, and that's freaking everybody out is AI and automation. So I thought, you know what? Again, none of us really knows. We're all trying to kind of sort through this and plan for and use these tools. So we would be better together if we could talk about ways that we will automate and ways that we will elevate our game, our business. And so that's the title of our next session: Automate and Elevate.
Awesome. You know, Jay, until this very minute, when you told me you were having a gap year, I thought you were just going to change your look and your style.
And wear all Gap and go from the Gap store to, yeah, well, it wouldn't have been a big stretch. Let's be honest, Terry.
All right. Let's talk big picture, Jay. What makes this event, Automate and Elevate, different from your typical webinar or training session that we are all a part of all the time? And why is now the right time to focus on automation and AI in promo, print, the apparel space?
Yeah. Thanks, Terry. It is. It's a part of our lives. It's not going to go away. And thank you for saying that this is a different training session. This is more experiential. This is not a typical webinar. If everybody knows me, we're going to have a fast pace. We're going to go through some information quickly. We're not going to dive deep on purpose, but we're going to cover some very important surface level things so that you can then know which questions to ask and have a better opportunity of connecting with the presenters and connecting with the other attendees. That's really a big part of why we do the training session the way we do it. So what makes it different is it's built for doers. It's built for people like us, not just the folks that want to talk and complain on the sidelines. And it's important to know that we're way past the hype stage of AI. Like right now is when decorators and distributors and printers, they literally have the time where we can get it right, figure it out, and then start to save time so that we're actually like moving through processes quicker. We're tightening up our workflows. We're wasting less time. We're creating a better experience for our customers. We're more creative. We're more personal. And so that's why I think this is an exciting time, and that's why it's perfect. But like I said, it's a day of engagement. It's not just a demo. We're not just going to run you through a sales pitch. It's not really like, hey, buy my product. It's more about, here's what I use and here's how I use it. And so that way people can see for themselves, oh, that makes total sense. I love that. Because we're at the very beginning stages. I mean, go back like 10 plus years, right when you guys started your podcast, right? How many years has it been? 13?
Yep.
13 years ago. Guys, holy hell, no one was podcasting. No one even knew what that was.
Yep.
Including Terry. Terry was like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'll do a podcast. What the hell's that?
I said yes and then asked what it was.
Well, that's how I feel. We're at the very beginning stages of this in kind of a mass way. I mean, I know AI's been around, but it feels like, okay, we're at this explosive point right now. And so we want to walk through how these automation tools are going to reshape our business. How are we going to follow up better? How are we going to be more creative? How is this going to help my employees? How is this going to help the art approval time? How is this going to help the deliveries? All of it. So the timing's perfect. And everybody right now that you talk to seems like they're drowning in like the to-do list. They're drowning in the tasks. They're starved for time. And I really think that right now we're in this messy kind of trough period, and we're going to start to climb out of this, and we're going to start to see how big this impact really can be on our business. And so we can eliminate some of that busy work. We can get back to the fun. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but most of us started these businesses because we thought it would be fun.
Yes.
Right.
And we thought we were creatives. And it's like, hey, let's get back to that.
Yeah.
And I really, truly believe that AI and automation can help us get back to that human, artistic, emotional, creative side.
Yeah. That's so good, Jay. And honestly, that's what our success group is really all about, right? Helping people get back to that place. And so for me, it starts with the mindset side of it, right?
Totally.
And then connecting situations like you're talking about here. And I know a lot of the work that I get to do with small business owners, AI, like you said, it's early, it's messy, it's, a lot of people like it's just too big. It's only for the, people have huge budgets and things like that. Or, I'm just I can't even figure out how to put a website up. How am I supposed to utilize AI? Right. Those types of conversations that I'm hearing. And so I'm curious what you think, as you've kind of explored this and are putting this program together, what is a mindset shift that we should be thinking about as business owners, regardless of the size of our business, that will kind of help us get started and utilize AI in a way that could be beneficial and productive as opposed to just another thing on the to-do list like you talked about?
I love that. I knew you were going to ask me this mindset question. I knew this was perfectly tailored for you, and I love it. Before I answer the mindset, let me say this. I should have started with this. I am not the expert. I am not the guru at the top of the mountain. I'm more like the messy Sherpa that's going to help you with your gear as we climb up this sloppy mountain together. So I don't have all the answers, but I love that you brought up the mindset, because really small businesses often feel overwhelmed. And I don't want this to be one more overwhelming thing. And if we're not careful, that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
So for me, the mindset shift is this. You don't have to automate everything. Let me repeat that. This is not a goal to, bring in robots and automate and, use artificial intelligence, everything all the time in all places. Not at all. In fact, that's really the key point of our experience, of our training of this online session, is just do something. Just, if you could do anything, start where it hurts the most.
Yeah.
Look for an AI tool or talk to your peers, listen in our sessions and say, man, I'm really struggling with A right now. If A is where your struggle point is, then try to find a tool, try to find the mindset, try to find the peer group, try to find the tool, something that's going to help you get through that. So, if we were just in this copy and paste the same email kind of a thing every Monday, doing all these things, and we're just Monday and then Tuesday and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's just the same drum, and it's not really building your business and you're just kind of bored. I mean, yeah, okay, then that could be something. Automation could probably figure out that. But automation isn't about becoming a robot and just clicking buttons.
Yeah.
It's about getting your time back.
Yeah.
So the mindset shift is, I'm going to get the biggest wins by eliminating some of that repetitive, lame, boring work anyway. And then I can get back to revenue related stuff, like the fun creative, the fun marketing, the better follow-up, the more emotional engagement that I can create. So to me, this whole shift of mindset is, don't be scared. Go back to before, some of us, like before podcasts. Yeah. Go back to before the internet. Guess what? We thrived before the internet. I don't know if you know this, but people made money before the internet, Terry. So
I'm well aware of that, Jay.
Yeah. So these are now new tools with new behaviors that can help us with our workflow, that can run while we sleep, literally. The light bulb won't go off. They can still be doing work, or still be automating, or still be processing, or still doing things that will deliver to us more freedom, more time. So I see this, Aaron, as a mindset shift to get ready, do something, and think about the time, think about the freedom, think about the creativity.
Yeah. I love that, Jay, because I think, a lot of times it is just one more thing. And what you just did for us right there was give us permission to let's let it be messy, right? I think that's where we are at with this.
Yes.
Like you said, we don't all have it figured out. So the more perspectives we can bring in, the more conversations we have about it, the more we're going to learn, and then figure out, okay, how can I make that work for me so I get my time back, right? I think people sometimes go, I don't get an immediate return on investment on that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll let somebody else figure it out. But the reality is, until you invest in the time to, come to an event like this, to think about it, to talk to other people about it, you're not going to get to that place of getting your time back. You're just, like you said, to keep banging the same drum over and over again. Creativity is what gets us to the place where we want to go.
100%. It's a true breakthrough. And you're right. It is messy, and that's okay. Embrace the mess.
Yep.
Embrace the suck. Just do it and get together. And that's the fun part about our community, is we're not here to judge you. We're not going to judge you at all. In fact, we're going to be failing forward with you. We're going to work through this together. So
love it.
That's why I get excited. And I think the mindset is really a piece that people need to just relax. Don't freak out. Robots are not coming to your house today to do the work that you said you wanted to do, but don't really want to do. It's like, there will be robots. That's down the road. Let's get the rest of this stuff ready for that. And let's build your business in a way that really does give you some time back. Isn't that what everybody's starving for?
Yep.
Like more time, like better
100%.
time, better use of our time.
Yep.
Well,
100%.
if those robots are coming today, all hail Skynet. So,
Yes. Yes.
but you know, I think the perfect example of AI and creativity is Dane Clement when he basically said to us, he spent about 10 minutes saying, say it ain't so, that AI can create artwork. And then he embraced it and said, how can I use this? How can I use this to make what I do better and easier and faster? So,
Yes.
um, so Jay, and you've said this in the past as well, that automation shouldn't replace people. It should elevate them, which is part of the title here. How are you seeing that play out so far in the promo and the apparel world?
Oh, it's such a good point. Such a good question. And before I answer it, I want to echo what you said. I want to give another shout out to Dane and to Marshall Atkinson. Those two guys, believe it or not, most people don't know Marshall. Marshall started as an artist. He was a creative. He was a creative director. He did artwork for screen printers. That's how he got started. And he was on the bleeding edge of right when Photoshop came out. Can you imagine? He was working in a screen printing environment pre-computer, pre-Photoshop. Okay, so he's been through this 2 times, and so is Dane. Dane remembers when we used to goof around in Type Styler and go, "Ooh, look, we can arch the text."
We can make all the words the
Yeah, yeah.
same
This is
length.
this is the greatest innovation ever, right after hamburgers. And so both of those guys have been through this 2 times, and to see them adapt and embrace this and go, holy hell, roll up our sleeves, let's get ready, because I would much rather be on the train than run over by the train. And so I really respect those two guys because they are pushing themselves to learn through this. Now, to your point about all hail Skynet, Terry, there are robots. There literally are robots that use AI, and where we're going to see this at first is in the repetitive nature of things like shipping, like picking up a box, fulfillment of the box, moving the box. So a lot of warehouses are already very in this trench and down the road, further than we probably realize. But truth is, this should not replace us. They're not here to replace me or Terry or Eric or Aaron. And so this automation doesn't replace us, it really rescues us. And again, that's part of a mindset shift. Don't worry about being replaced, worry about it rescuing. Now, if you're not going to get on the train, there is a chance that it will replace some jobs. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There's a reality here. We're seeing that in some of the headlines at Amazon. Some of those boring, repetitive tasks that people didn't really love are going to get replaced by people who don't care, and they're called robots. So, but if we can focus on the things that are boring and repetitive, if we can focus on the things that are a huge time suck, then what happens is we can get more strategic, we can get more creative, and the human things that customers fall in love with is what we will end up winning with. So I'm seeing distributors and decorators use AI right now to generate things like art proofs. They're working on reorder reminders, new ad campaign ideas, new decorating techniques, new flip books that make the graphics look more realistic to what the final product is going to be. And they're freeing up their teams to focus on relationships. So to me, this is a humans plus machines kind of a thing, not humans versus machines. And I really believe that the humans plus machines is our future. And so this automation is going to be like our new intern. And that intern is going to save us and going to, instead of replace us, bring us the snacks that we want, Terry. And but the truth is, I'm joking, but those automated moments and potentially a future robot, they're not gonna need the sleep. They're not gonna actually want the snacks. They're just gonna be programmed to do the work. So your brain, my brain, all of our brains, and more importantly, our heart is what we're gonna lead with. And so I truly believe that the automation just helps us work smarter, not smaller. And we can lead with our heart. We can be more human. And a side note here, funny side note, while I was at the Printing United show in the Hilton Hotel, there was a sea of under 30-year-olds working for PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, one of the top 4 consultancy and accounting firms in the United States, probably globally. I just don't know the facts. But under 30 for sure. You could obviously tell. And all of their sessions and all of the rooms, and they were all excited, and they had their merch and their backpacks, and they were going around. And so all throughout the signage, it said, "In the era of AI, the most human approach wins." And I was like, "Oh, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that." So it's so true. In the era of AI, when we're fearful of robots, we're fearful of being replaced, and we're fearful of all this technology, the most human heart is going to win out. And so I just love this idea of like a reset, right? Like this is going to be a reset for all of us, and it's going to kind of democratize the field again, especially if you're on the smaller end. So if you're a small business owner, if you're a small apparel decorator, small distributor, small printer, whatever you call yourself, this truly can be a reset for you, and I would get excited about it. As you guys know, I get pretty jacked up, and it's not even about the tacos, okay? So I do
Well,
have my eye on a little system that's going to deliver tacos to me on a consistent basis.
well, and I think we all saw at the show there were several booths where there were robots moving boxes around, but just like you say, Jay, that frees you up. I don't need to be moving boxes. That frees us up to do the creative work because, for all of us garment decorators, promotional product decorators, you still gotta create the graphic. You've still got to come up with the concepts. You've still got to decorate the product. So
100%. And like Ramona said in the chat, you still got to come up with the copy. You still got to kind of come up with the campaign. You still got to use, an opportunity that maybe you felt you were below average. So now with this tool, you can be above average. And it's not difficult. You're basically talking to something, telling it what you want, and then you become kind of the leader of the conversation. So it's still leading with your heart. It's still being creative, but it's an assistant. It's help. It's
Yep.
not replacing you.
Yep.
one of those robots had a sticker on it that said "Member of the Teamsters Local 2378." So it's not hurting the unions any.
You're lying, Terry Combs.
Yes, I was going to say, just FYI, you guys, Terry is joking.
Yeah,
That is not real. That is
Uh,
Terry.
Anybody listens to this show knows that's where my brain goes, and I'm going all the way back, Jay, to you being a Sherpa, carrying a big old giant backpack, all in your Gap gear, of course.
Of course, with a Gap backpack.
Yeah, back. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get back on track here. But actually, speak to this. David's Haynes had a comment here that I'd love to hear your take on. Jay, he says, "I'm afraid more robots and AI will actually remove the human aspect of things. People already say mean things so easily behind a screen. Hopefully, they don't do mean things with more robotics. I hope you're right. Right? Like,
Mhm.
that's a good thought.
No,
So
fair analysis and fair concern. It's a worthy concern. It's a cautionary tale that if we don't get this right, robots are only programmed to do what they're programmed to do. So yes, there is a reality to that, David. But I would say that the opportunity for us is to, lean into the humanity, lean into, for example, Mark Schaefer in his book Marketing Rebellion talks about the company or the business or the community that has the most human will win. And I specifically use the word community because it's what I think people starve. People starve to feel like they belong. So if you use AI to create a belonging, to create a community where we can teach each other and refine each other and be more heartfelt and be more real, that actually is going to shine through. Because think about this, we've already had this little mini backlash moment where we were like, that's just an AI video, that's fake, that's not real. People can sniff it out and they don't like it. Now, it's not just because they don't like change. None of us like change, to be true. We're lazy, and we like what we like. We like the
comfort zone. Yep.
Yeah. So sometimes these things force us to move. They force us to change a little bit, and we realize that we can still be positive. We can still lead with our hearts and do the right thing. And so, David, you're not wrong, but I hope I'm right too. Like, I hope people will do less mean things with this.
Yes.
I'm afraid some will manipulate the system just like they always have. I read something really recently. Just forgive me for going off on this tangent, but they can't always tell in real time, but within weeks they can usually tell. When you guys remember the Cracker Barrel incident and everyone freaking out, they've done an autopsy on that, and they can now tell that 40 to 50% of the outrage, the freak out was all BS. It was all bots. It wasn't real at all. It wasn't humans complaining about a logo or a menu or Cracker Barrel. It was the outrage machine that spins to suck more people in and to keep people on those platforms. I think we should have a social media turnoff day every year and make it random so that the algorithm doesn't know, and just shut down on a day and say, F you, we don't need you anymore. We don't need this for 24 hours. And let's pick up the phone and call people. Let's use technology in a positive way for that day,
Yeah.
So forgive me for going off on a tangent, but
No, that's perfect. These are the discussions we want to have. And Jay, to add to what you're saying too, if you don't mind, I also think, Terry talked about how, we go back to the creative, still got to do this, you still got to do this, still got to do this. I think this is also going to allow us to come back even a layer deeper and start getting more creative with, okay, I know like in the sustainability summit, we talked about brand fill.
Mhm.
Well, how do we even go back a layer before that and go, okay, what's the actual point that we're trying to get to here with this branded merch?
Yeah.
And is there a better creative way? And now that I know that I have this automation tool, I'll have better data, I'll have easier ways to get from point A to point B. And so, again, as you mentioned, no matter what the quote unquote technology is, when they first came out with the printing press, right? That could be used for good or for bad, right? They printed the
Absolutely.
Bible was the first real use of it, right?
People were freaking out about that, Aaron. You go
Yeah.
through history, and I know Terry's a big history buff. People, those in power, were super freaked out by the fact that more people could read now.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
And the Bible's translated into English. What? So
Yeah.
all those priests that were reading in Latin, are we all out of work with this new technology?
And think about this. Think about when the photographers were all freaked out when Photoshop came out.
Yeah.
All of that, it's the evolution. We can't stop it. So the way is to figure out how to flow with it in a positive way, in a way
Correct.
that is positive for humanity, positive for our families, positive for our business.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think that's what
I think it's going to be like a pendulum swinging. It's going to be
Yes.
too overboard with AI. Let me give you an example from previous technology. Harry Oster at Equipment Zone is very, very proud of the fact that when you call Equipment Zone, you don't get if you would like sales, press 1. If you would like whatever, press 2. He prides himself on the fact that a human being answers the phone anytime somebody calls. And I think that's this. I think that's going to be people saying, you're not going to talk to a robot, you're going to talk to a human being, so.
Yeah, and you're right. That pendulum, I think that people are going to go too far into the deep end. They're going to set up all these systems that people don't actually like because they got too excited about the tech and didn't consult with the people. And so it turns out people, Terry, do like to actually talk to a human and say, you know what, I'm struggling. I'm stuck. I don't even know who to ask for help.
Yeah, it just keeps looping me to the thing I already tried. I need to talk to a human being that's actually opened this machine before.
Now, I know that there are tools out there already. People have given me some access to things and said, Jay, call this phone number and talk to it, and you try to tell me that this is fake. Like there are AI agents now that can really automate processes, sound human, and be able to have so much data, as Aaron pointed out, that they can reference that data in an amazing amount of speed that we don't even understand how fast they can be.
Yeah.
And then come back and give us real-time answers. So yes, I mean, there's going to be that pendulum swing too far, and it's going to come back a little bit. But I just think that it's up to us. It's up to us, right? We should determine how to best use these tools that are coming forward. How do we want to enter this era? Because AI and automation are already here.
Yeah.
So how can we use them with intentionality? I think is the question we should be asking.
Yeah, intentionality, integrity, all that stuff. And I think it starts with these types of conversations that you're facilitating, Jay. So that's awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the road ahead here. Now, trust me, as two regular guys, we always love to pull out as many secrets as we can. But in this case, don't give away all the secrets. All right. Automate and Elevate coming up. But give us a trend or a tool or something that you're excited about that our industry probably needs to be aware of that might not be aware coming in the future, right? What's your crystal ball telling you?
Well, thank you, Aaron. And before I answer this question, I want to just give you guys a shout out because you are a really important piece of this puzzle. So this platform, your network, what you guys have built for the past 13 years is outstanding. It's awesome. It's human. It's real. I love it. I can't listen every Friday or I get busy and forget sometimes, but I just appreciate you both so much. I've known you for many, many, many years. And I'm so grateful to have a role on your show where I might bring a little excitement or a few tacos or a little bit of love. And so our events and this next event would not be possible without you two because we're using this same platform. And you two get to be our co-hosts, our co-Sherpas, our with all the love and the banter and the fun that you guys bring. And so I'm super excited about this next event. And to your point, without giving away all the secrets of Automate and Elevate, there are some trends and there are some tools, but what excites me even more than the trends and the tools is that it's what those trends and tools make possible. It's the outcomes. So we're entering this era and we have AI and we have robots and we have some automation. Things are going to go fast and they're going to get efficient. But again, back to that intentional creativeness. I think that's the biggest breakthrough. If I'm looking forward and looking in my crystal ball, I truly believe that what's going to help us the most is how we can be more engaged with our customers. We can get more creative in a way that's like this. We're into this like buyer personality, buyer psychology, being able to take all that data that's been kind of hidden or hard, because it's hard. We don't know why people buy. We think we know, but it's like we're flawed, right?
Yeah.
And that's the piece that I love. I love saying that I'm on the island of misfit toys and I refuse to give up my spot. I love that we're flawed enough that the AI and the automation and the robots are going to go, what the hell? Like they're not going to always get us because we're messy and we're chaotic. So my point is this, when we can take all of that repetitive noise, when we can take all of those tasks that were not good use of our time, it frees us up to be more meaningful. It frees us up to create better experiences, especially in the branded merch world. So Aaron, you touched on this earlier with this, this idea of, well, what if they didn't want t-shirts?
Yeah.
Like we make these giant assumptions
Yeah.
and we allow our clients to make those assumptions because if we don't print t-shirts, we don't make money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But what if we could get more intentional and we found out that there are indeed a lot of people who love t-shirts, thank God, but they also are a lot of people that love other things that we could print.
Yeah.
And we could figure that out, be more emotional, create a better experience that people actually want to keep these things rather than just have this weird pass through where it goes from an event to my suitcase, back to my house on the plane. I pull it out. It's the wrong size. Feels weird, kind of crunchy, don't love it. And it goes to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Like we need to end that. And I think that if we use these tools, that can become our next competitive edge. Not only the person that's the fastest, but the person that's the most human with the best data that can say, hey, turns out that we did some deep analysis on your upcoming event, your upcoming trade show, and only 33% of the people wanted a t-shirt. And of those that wanted the t-shirt, the last thing they wanted was a business card on the t-shirt. They did not want a logo and a phone number and a buy more crap here on that t-shirt. They wanted a theme. They wanted something memorable. They wanted something fun. They wanted something human. They wanted something that they could remember or give as a gift to somebody else. So with that data and being able to kind of use these parts and pieces, we can maximize that humanness and we can be more specific, more thoughtful, more creative than we've ever been. And that's what I get excited about. And that's why I wanted to have this Automate and Elevate event. It's all about helping people rediscover the art inside automation.
Awesome.
Super.
Can't wait. It's going to be an awesome day.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
man. I get so passionate and so
That's
jacked up.
perfect. Bring it.
Because
That's
it's like,
what we're,
I don't have the answers, but I really do think that I'm lucky enough to be surrounded with people like you. You're included on this list, even Terry. And then like let me just rattle off: Jason Noakes, Raul Rodriguez, Ashley Colati, Eric Granada, Rick Molinar. You may not know who those names are, but those are people, some in CEO and ownership roles, some in C-suite roles, that are making a difference, making that let's do one thing. Let's make one move, let's make it together, and we'll make our business better. And those are the people that are joining me in this Automate and Elevate. They are our sponsors. They are our partners. They are presenters. They're in the trenches right alongside Eric and Terry and Aaron and myself, trying to say, hey, we don't have all the answers, but we better start to figure these out together. Let's go now.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to read Ramona's comment about phone systems. It's simply this: representative.
We're all like just hit zero.
Pounding on the
Zero.
All right. Well, Jay, this is all happening right here on Two Regular Guys platform, as you've said. But give our listeners the details about tuning in, and tell us how people can reach out to you.
Yes, thank you. So discover how AI and automation drive smarter workflows and stronger profits. That's kind of the subtext of our event. How discover, like that's the why I used that word. Discover how AI and automation are going to drive smarter workflows and stronger profits. All you need is one or two little pieces from this event to like run and be like, oh my God, this is such a breakthrough moment for me. You're not gonna all 90 minutes of it, it's gonna be awesome, but all you need is one or two little small pieces of your puzzle. So Fast Editor is gonna be there, Spectre & Co is gonna be there, Promo Pilot, Merch AI, Promo Pulse, those are our 5 cores. I just love this idea. Just join us. It's free. They paid for us to be here, and we're going to make sure that you can learn more about how this will affect your print, your promo, and your apparel workflows. So it's a fresh event. It's not just another boring webinar. Trust me, I can't handle that myself. So you know I'm going to bring the spice and bring something fun and some flair. But this is going to help empower print, promo, and apparel. And the professionals, and whether you're in sales, whether you're in marketing, whether you pull the squeegee, whether you hoop the hoodie, whether you prep for laser, whatever. And so November 13th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central European time. Don't forget those Central European folks, Terry. So we have folks that are registered in Europe. This is how broad this is. So 10 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern is probably the anchor point. So November 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern. Please join us. Real world perspectives from suppliers, from printers, from business owners, from distributors, from decorators. And here's one little thing I saved for last. I have no idea how we're going to do this, Aaron, and I'm being very transparently real and a little nervous about this, but we will figure this out. We have 13 days-ish to figure this out. We are going to have ChatGPT join us and participate live on the panel. Some way, somehow, we're going to get live feedback out of ChatGPT and try to increase our learning by giving it some questions. We might have to pre-populate a little bit. We're going to work on that in the next 12 days. But I'm excited to use the technology in the platform to figure out how can we be better? How can we learn more? How can we simplify? How can we be more human? So I hope everybody joins us. It's free. We're going to end the event with a live Q&A. So all of the sponsors and presenters are going to come on and just answer questions for a half hour live. But we're gonna hold that to the end so that we can get through some of our panels. So super fired up. What did I forget, guys? You can go to Branded Merch Network, the Branded Merch Network. Go to brandedmerchnetwork.com. Go to our homepage. You'll see the Automate and Elevate landing page. Click on that and register. It's free. We're going to ask you a couple of questions just to make sure we know who you are and what you're excited about. But 3 questions to register. Super simple. Please register. Please join us. Fired up to say we have well over 100. We're closely knocking on the door to 200 attendees. So we'd love it if we could break that number. You won't be doing me any favors if we do, but I'd just love to see that that's how many people are really engaged and interested.
Awesome.
Well, hopefully the AI participant won't say, "I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that." Look it up, everybody.
2001 Space Odyssey. All right.
Okay, there we go. Terry has to drop in some words of wisdom.
That's right. All right. Hey, Jay, this is going to be a blast. And you just reminded me that we do have to figure out the ChatGPT thing. So maybe I'll play around with that here soon. But we'll make it happen.
We will make it happen.
I think the cool part about all of this stuff, right? As you mentioned at the top, we're all in this together, figuring it out, messy And I think Two Regular Guys has always been unafraid to be on the bleeding edge, so to speak. And
No, you guys have, and that's why, again, respect you both so much. Excited to participate with you and do this. You become our media platform. Your reach, your interests, you're just the fun-loving Two Regular Guys. And I do want to end on this, Terry. I want you to know I'm firmly in the ranch camp, and here's why. Because you cannot find socks that say "I love blue cheese." They don't exist.
That's true.
Ranch on the chicken
But
wing is an affront to God.
All right. Excuse me. Okay. Well, I think that is the perfect place to end. Ranch is the preferred dipping sauce, and that's what we got out of today. No, Jay, this has been fantastic. I'm super stoked about this event coming up. Eric's got the links in the chat there. We will get it on our social media pages. And Eric.
Eric, wait, what? So I'm evening this out? Oh wow, I did.
Thank
not
you, Jay.
know.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I was in the minority, but I do have the team from American Print and Supply backing me up. So not only
and we have the socks to prove it. They don't. So
that's
right.
true.
So
Valid. All right, you guys seriously register. Just go register right now. Good stuff, Jay. Thank you so much for being here.
love it. Thanks, guys.
Hi, brother. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
Awesome. And speaking of signing up, Aaron, we have a big announcement next week. The nominees for the Reggie Awards, and we need to get everybody who's listening out there to go to tworegularguys.com, the number 2regularguys.com, and put in your nominees for the Reggie Awards this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was slow. We had a slow start. It was now starting to trickle in, but if you're waiting, right? I talked to a few people and they're like, oh, I'm just not sure. I'm like, you can come up with 5 people or products that have helped you, right? Like, come on, step it up, folks. We can do this. And
I even left a blank one. I don't think I know anybody under 40. So
there you go. All right. Well, again, just there's people that have helped you in your business. There's products that help you in your business. Get out there, nominate them. I'm looking at the countdown right now. 6 days, 7 hours, 6 minutes, up 5 minutes and 59 seconds is what you've got left to put your nominations in. After that, too bad, so sad. You have to wait for the 14th annual Reggies.
Yeah, and get out there and also share on your social media to get people in there to make their nominations, and even if they don't make the final count, it sure makes people feel good to know that somebody recognized them. So.
Absolutely. And we will read every single person that's been nominated next week. Again, it is about that recognition. That's what the whole Reggies are all about, you guys, is just an opportunity to say, thank you. Thank you for helping me with my business. Period.
1,000%.
So here you go. Let us be the one shouting out your thank you for you. How about that? All right, cool. So guys.com/Reggies. Check that out. And we won't go through the categories. You can go check it out right now. But let's see here, Terry, what's happening in your world? Big Book of Travels still something, right?
I actually bought my 2026 Big Book of Travel, so I'm going to be filling that out soon. My complete screen printing business course. I'm leaving in a couple hours for the airport. Hopefully there won't be any backup because of the government slowdown. Wasn't any problem last week, but my last class of the year will be in Chicago with atlasscreensupply.com, and that will be this Saturday and Sunday. I've already submitted can't believe I'm doing this, Aaron, my 2026 available dates for next year's classes. So hopefully I'll be announcing those in the next couple of weeks. And
absolutely
watch for my upcoming events at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
So funny enough, Terry, we will both be in Chicago this weekend, but I doubt we'll be able to connect because I will be at the McCormick Center sitting in a volleyball gym basically for 3 days straight. But I will be rooting for you to have a great class up there at Atlas Screen Supply. So I've got we do a fourth quarter kind of marketing masterclass and roadmap, and it's actually out there. It's available for you to go sign up for it right now. The masterclass is completely free. There is an opportunity to have a one-on-one and go over your stuff with me. Love that. and love that opportunity. So if you'll go to osg.link/MKT, sorry, Eric, I didn't get this updated, but osg.link/MKT, and you can get signed up for that. And if you do want to do it's only $37 for the little workshop kind of one-on-one with me. But I wanted to give the regulators a extra little bonus. So if you use the code 2RG, that will get you a discount on that as well. But it's totally free to sign up for the start of it. You get a workbook as well. It's just something that we've done for a couple of years, and I'm really proud of being able to help people. I get all sorts of great feedback about, man, this really made me get more intentional about, so busy in this time of year. And so a lot of people just shut off their marketing, and then they go, man, why is everything so slow in January? It's not because January's slow. It's because you've been head down in production the whole time and nobody knows what you're doing. So you can get a better fourth quarter and have January and February not be such a slog and have to turn that knob back on, so to speak. So that's what I've got happening right now. And so, yeah, kind of post Printing United, deep breath, and I've got some new announcements coming up here, but probably after the Reggie nominees. So a couple weeks from now, stay tuned for a big announcement that I will be making.
Awesome.
And let's see here. We've got Eric coming up here in just a second for Secret Sauce. Let's see if we're all up to date here. Yep, Eric Campbell. So join him this afternoon for the Take Up Wrap Up, Printing United, Embroidery on Demand, and Impressions Expo announcements. So in this episode, Eric is going to talk about his experiences at Printing United, discuss the concept of embroidery on demand. That's really interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. And how we fit in with the rise of print on demand digital production setups. And he's also going to formally announce the upcoming Technique Toolkit and other special sessions coming up at Impressions Expo Long Beach. So make sure that you tune in for that one. Jump in with Eric at 4:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Mountain Time, and ask your questions, share your insights. Eric does such a great job of including everybody while at the same time educating at a super high level. So check it out at ericcampbell.com and hit the Take Up tab at the top. And then, as kind of pre-mentioned in the Take Up here, the Technique Toolkit is going to be back at Impressions Expo in Long Beach. And yes, I like your note here, Eric. It is coming much sooner than we probably realized. So 26 is around the corner here. Eric, Joe Kramer, Justin Armenta, Katie Wubin, a 4-in-1 workshop all about creating looks for B2B commercial embroidery that rivals retail and moves beyond that boring commodity work that sometimes people get stuck in. So you can register at the link that he has in the comments there. I won't try to read that one out, but if you use the code SPEAK210, you'll get 20% off your full conference pass there. All right. So that's what Eric's got coming up. And speaking of Eric coming up, are you ready for some secret sauce, Terry?
I'm ready. I'm ready for Eric to push his own button for his own intro.
Hey folks, I'm in for the secret sauce today, and I'm here with my top tips for hobby embroiderers who are turning pro. And I put turning pro in little scare quotes for a reason, because honestly, the line between these things it's a very thin line these days. Over at Printing United, we saw that line get thinner and grayer than it has ever been. With so many machine manufacturers, software suppliers, and material vendors recognizing the potential of the hobbyist and the home decorator and the prosumer market, we're not just seeing an expansion of professional products moving to the craft side of the world, but an influx of these increasingly capable, well-appointed small shops working their way into the commercial embroidery market in a real and lasting way. Machine embroidery hobbyists and artists deciding to enter the business sphere have a different initial experience than commercial embroiderers like me. They usually run on some slower single needle machines, changing colors manually throughout designs, running one piece at a time, spending dedicated hours really as entertainment and enjoyment more than employment to start. They dedicate themselves diligently to self-education, experimentation, usually focusing most on the look of their work. That early work is more concerned with what they can make machines do than how it's achieved or how long the pieces take to create. And that means there's different things that hobbyists need to learn when they come into the commercial space. Commercial only embroiderers like myself really start out efficiency minded, production focused, but that focus can sometimes lead us to standardized settings and materials and make things look kind of samey. Home embroiderers tend to be experimenters and mavericks, but may spend more time in one piece in the name of its appearance than a commercial job can really afford. So what I'd like to do is see if we can all take the best of both worlds, right? Let's make ourselves embroiderers who relish experimentation and creativity, but know how to make it efficient and easy to produce, all while making the money it takes to keep us doing what we love. So to all my commercial contemporaries, before I start into the hobby tips, my greatest tip to you is to keep playing. Take 1 hour, if not a few hours every week to try something new, experiment with a wild idea, or even lurk in some home embroidery and fiber art circles and get inspired. For my crafty converts, however, your tips are going to be a little more explicit. As a writer and educator, I've been privy to hundreds of questions from hopeful embroiderers making their way from a love of stitches to a lifetime in the business, and those Q&A sessions reliably bring out some of the same tips. So take some of these to heart as you start your commercial adventure and know that it all comes with love. The first thing is you got to be ready to do business. If you don't like talking about or handling money matters, you can't stand sales or marketing, to like serving people and never take a second glance at the calendar, you're going to have to find a way to either enjoy this vital part of the work or pay a partner who does. Making money means shuffling some paper, albeit digitally now, and honestly should be done digitally and centrally. You may not need to be a business wizard or to memorize tax code, but off-the-cuff costing, pricing, and money management just happens to be something you have to do. And occasional commission craft projects really don't bring that long-term strategy to form a business. You need to do your research, look for resources that help people starting small businesses in general. Maybe find local mentors in your community and be ready to hire out critical things you can't do or don't want to do if it really is something that is a bridge too far for you. Secondly, you need to find your focus. You can be pulled in myriad directions by each creative project's possibilities. I can't tell you how many times I've taken on an art project that really didn't pay. Though experimentation is good, not every project, product, or new technique is meant to be part of your business. Define what your target customer needs, play to your strengths, and focus on the things that fit that mold, especially as you're first starting. When you're establishing yourself, you got to get strong at your core. Always question new ventures, especially when they start to require equipment purchases. I hate to say that in front of people who sell equipment, but the truth of the matter is if you're not profitable with your existing equipment and the new market and its processes are unclear, you may want to make sure you've revisited that core work before you take on that new expense. Adding equipment or techniques can enhance your offerings and your profit. And honestly, it is something that we need to do pretty frequently. But it doesn't mean you need the newest item, the newest toy to bolster your business. And if other things are flailing, that's not usually the cause. You have to know to whom you'd sell a new product or process before you buy in. So make sure you're thinking about that business side of this thing before you make those investments. In that kind of same vein, you need to know your costs. So many early commercial embroiderers, they underprice their work, especially if they come from the craft and hobby table side. They feel unsure of their skills, and maybe they do that feeling like they're going to make up for the fact that maybe they're not all the way commercial yet, or they're not all the way at the top level proficiency that they think they should be. But they do that at the peril of their businesses. It's especially true when you've made capital investments, you've got regular lease payments looming. When you're setting your prices, you need to know what it costs to run your machine, keep a roof over your head, and roughly know the cost of your materials. You have to estimate how much time is involved in each job and calculate prices that not only account for cost, but pay you a wage for the work that you're doing and includes profit for your business. You can't do that adequately if you don't know your costs and materials overhead and time. You just have to measure. Next, you need to ask for what you're worth. And I know that sounds like I just said know your costs and talk about pricing, but the thing is, it's the final ask, the actual pricing, the actual method and mode of saying this is something I'm worth and I need to get this to make this project happen. Some people think it feels audacious, but it's not. You'd think it was audacious from how hesitant some new embroiderers are to ask for fair prices. Don't undervalue your labor or discount it randomly. Value your work and your expertise, especially if you're coming from this as a hobbyist. Most of the time, you have already built up this base of knowledge that your customer base needs because you are producing that stuff that they can't. You are exchanging your expert technical knowledge, creativity, dedication, service, and the use of your uncommon and expensive equipment and your supplies for the price you're asking. Price more on the material value and time spent in labor, price on the value you provide, and the value your customer perceives. It's that money that really makes it possible for us to keep doing what we love, if nothing else, let alone profit and building the rest of the life you want to live. And on that note, selling isn't selling out. The other thing is sometimes there's people who come from an artistic side of this thing and they really feel like sales is a dirty word, but I don't think it is. If you're doing good work, telling people about it and letting them know what's available is a service that you're doing. You're doing the world a disservice if you won't show them what they might be missing in your work. You provide a product and a service that gives measurable value. Sales don't have to be shifty when you simply share a good product from which your audience stands to benefit, Show them the benefit. Show them how it can help their lives, their businesses, teams, and groups, and give them the chance to make you their friend in the industry. And last but not least, especially for those of you who are in home-based businesses, you're working out of garages, your commute is a walk to the other room that was empty before you put your machine in it, you need to set firm boundaries. It's hard physically and mentally separate work and home life. Ask me how I know, working remote for so many years. You need to start early with dedicated business hours so that your work life doesn't get impinged upon by the home life all the time. Sometimes you can use a second phone or a service. I really would think to do that. If you're still working with your home cell phone that's personal for your business, you will suffer over time. Trust me. Keep dedicated email addresses, dedicated social media as well, so that we keep our private social media away from our business social media. There's lots of stories about that we don't need to review. Also, just physically separate your work in a designated space, however possible. It's good to grind, and you're going to work long hours. If you're an entrepreneur, what is it that Terry always says? We are free to work any hours we like, all 24 of them. That's just how it is. But don't let customers dominate your off time or your personal space at all times. That you can choose to work those hours you like, but that early boundary setting is going to keep you from always being on call. Really, at the intersection between the work you love to do and the money you need to survive, there's a really wonderful state of existence. You can dig in and do business, understand the needs of your market, and charge a fair but properly profit-conscious price. You'll be well on your way to living in that space. Learn from commercial workers' experience and the way that we work for efficiency, but don't be afraid to share your perspective too, because together with your creativity and our production sense, we can be more than we could have been apart. And that's my secret sauce for today.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. What a great secret sauce there. I think I love the last part that you closed with, setting firm boundaries. My Small Business Saturday episode tomorrow, Terry, is about how the hustle culture is broken and what we can do instead. So it fits right together, I think. So
yeah, and as always great information from Eric.
Absolutely. So, all right, Terry. Well, another great show on the books here. We want to thank Jay Busselle for sharing some of his excitement and passion about what he's doing and that upcoming event on November 13th called Automate and Elevate, exploring how AI and automation are shaping the future of branded merch. So make sure you get over there to the link that was shared, but at brandedmerchnetwork.com and get registered for that right away, Terry.
Awesome. And anybody who's ever done anything with Jay knows that it will never be dull. So
never a dull moment with Jay. I love it. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. We also want to thank Eric Campbell, our show producer, for keeping the show moving in the background and then jumping on here live to do a secret sauce today. Thank you, Eric, as always.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Thanks very much, Eric. And it was great to get a chance to do that show with them live while you were in an airplane, Terry. So, but it was also super awesome to get to just hang out. The three boys there sitting at a hotel lobby. The only thing that was missing was chicken wings, but at that point we'd already had our fill of food. So had a great time. Terry, next week, yes, we've talked about the Reggies. We'll keep talking about the Reggies because next week is when we're going to announce the nominees. So you have less than a week to get those nominees in. Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. It's closed. It's over. It's done. So this is your chance. And then I love that you put this note in here, Terry, because you don't actually fall back, but you remind all of us that are supposed to remember this, which I didn't. This weekend is fallback time. So there we go. Set your clocks. I think it's on Monday morning, right? At like 2 a.m.
No, Sunday. It's on Sunday.
Sunday morning at like 2 a.m.
And somehow I always have a screen printing class during this time. So I'll have to remind all the students, okay, set your clocks at your hotel tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a good point for all of the kids that are playing volleyball up there too. So I appreciate that reminder. That's very helpful. I'm the team coordinator, they call it, team mom back in my day. But
All right. Until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And that was the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Two Regular Guys. We're here because of listeners like you, and we're so grateful to have you on this journey with us. For more valuable insight, be sure to visit our website, 2regularguys.com, and join the conversation on our Facebook page. And hey, if you or someone you know has expertise, a unique perspective, or a story worth sharing, we'd love to have them as a guest on the show. Just reach out. Remember, success in this industry isn't just about the equipment you own or the techniques you've mastered. It's about the mindset you bring and the connections you build. Keep learning, stay curious, and don't be afraid to think differently. Keep pressing on, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Two Regular Guys.